Now we're going to have a discussion of how does our research connect to our chosen UN sustainable goal. So, to address the four challenges we've mentioned, we need a holistic approach that involves various stakeholders, including governments, NGOs, communities, and private sectors. Here are some strategies to tackle each challenge. First, when it comes to affordable housing, we need to promote sustainable building practices, which engineers can advocate for and implement green building standards which focus on energy efficiency, use of sustainable materials, and waste reduction in construction projects. These practices can help lower construction costs and create affordable housing options. Improving infrastructure for housing, environmental engineers can contribute to design and implementation of efficient water supply, sanitation, waste management systems, which are essential for creating safe and habitable housing environments. Identifying and remediating environmental hazards are also very important aspects. And also assessing potential hazards such as soil contamination, air pollution, or natural disasters, and take measures to remediate or mitigate these risks to ensure a safety residency. Also, supporting policy and planning initiatives, environmental engineers can collaborate with policymakers and urban planners to develop strategies to encourage affordable housing development while considering environmental impacts and sustainability factors. Ensure access to safe and affordable housing, and also by implementing government-led or public-private partnerships to build and provide affordable housing options for low-income individuals and families. Encouraging also smart urban planning, which promotes mixed-use development, higher density housing, and transit-oriented development to optimize land use and reduce housing costs. Also, supporting rent control and tenant protection, which helps tenants from getting unreasonable rent hikes and ensuring secure tenancy. Also, providing assistance with financials, which offers subsidies, housing vouchers, or low interest loans to eligible individuals to help them afford housing. Also, another thing that can be set up is homelessness prevention programs, which establish programs that provide support services, rental assistance, and affordable housing options to prevent homelessness. Ensuring access to safe and affordable housing are all things that are very necessary. So we need to implement housing policies that promote affordable housing options for low income and vulnerable populations, invest in social housing projects that provide safe and affordable homes to those that need it, encouraging public-private partnerships to increase housing supply and affordability, and supporting community-led initiatives for housing development and improvement. The next thing,
that we will like to cover is accessible transportation systems for everybody.
Designing
An inclusive transportation infrastructure is very important, and environmental engineers or engineers in general can advocate for the construction of transportation systems that accommodate people with disabilities and ensure easy access for all individuals, including those with mobilities and challenges.
Also
Promoting public transportation options that are eco-friendly.
Environmental
engineers can work towards integrating sustainable transportation options such as electric vehicles
and
non-motorized transportation. Assessing and mitigating environmental impacts is also very important when it comes to transportation. So engineers have to conduct environmental impact assessments of transportation projects to identify the potential negative effects on the environment and find ways to minimize them.
So
investing in public transportation is one of the things that need to be done that help develop and expand transportation networks, including buses, trains,
light
rail,
to improve accessibility
for all residents. Implementing active transportation infrastructure, which build and maintain pedestrian and cycling infrastructure to promote walking and biking as viable transportation options. Also, universal design ensures that transportation systems are accessible to people with disabilities by incorporating universal design principles. The next thing that we want to touch on is ensuring a safeguard of different cultures and heritages. To ensure the safeguard of different cultures and heritages in different regions, environmental and all engineering practices can contribute by participating in cultural impact assessments. These include potential impacts of development projects on local cultures and heritage sites, and proposed mitigation of such projects and measures to preserve cultural identity. Promoting community engagement and consultation can facilitate meaningful engagement with local communities to understand their cultural values and heritage preservations priorities when designing and implementing such projects. Also, integrating cultural considerations can work for these communities to work alongside with urban planners and policymakers to integrate cultural preservation as a key aspect of sustainable development initiatives. So that ensures respect and safeguard local cultures and heritages are taken in mind. So
to touch on this again, cultural preservation programs establish initiatives to document, preserve, and revitalize traditional cultures, languages, and customs, support local arts and crafts, also encourages production of sale of traditional crafts and artworks, providing economic incentives for local artisans, also promoting cultural exchange, so festivals, events, and educational programs that foster the understanding and appreciation of these diverse cultures, and tourism or community-based tourism, which is develops responsible and sustainable tourism that respects local customs and traditions.
Another thing that we're touching on is leaning towards a more sustainable, green-wise way of living. So to lean toward a more sustainable, green-wise way of living in developing regions, environmental engineering can contribute through promoting renewable energy adoption, developing sustainable waste management strategies, which adopt renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power that reduce the dependency on fossil fuels. Also, implementing waste management systems that prioritize recycling, composting, and waste-to-energy technologies to reduce waste and minimize environmental impacts. Encouraging sustainable water management is another important aspect, which techniques can be used such as rainwater harvesting and efficient irrigation systems. So to kind of summarize everything when it comes to being greenwise, we need to adopt a renewable energy source or energy sources. So incentives to use renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, geothermal, and also subsidies through tax credits. Energy efficiency measures promote energy efficient technologies and practices in buildings, industries, and transportation to reduce energy consumption. Also, waste management and recycling. Implement comprehensive waste management programs that include recycling and waste-to-energy technologies. Also, educational campaigns raise awareness about sustainability and its importance among the public through education campaigns and outreach programs.
Now that we've covered all four points, we need to have a call to action. Why this presentation is important and what should you do after this presentation. Engineers can only do so much. So even though engineers can create a more sustainable world, they need more help, especially from policymakers, also from NGOs, and also from different private organizations. The UN goals can only be achieved through the work of collaborations that include people across different disciplinaries. The UN goals can only be achieved through the work of collaborations that include people across different disciplinaries, including those in policymaking. We also need the help of planners and also the help of the community. So it also takes also the community to be part of this initiative to help out with the sustainability of this project. Also, we need the help of people like you that are watching this presentation to also take action and assist in helping push towards policymakers making the proper decision, and planners, and also anybody in the field of engineering also thinking about these initiatives when different projects are being constructed or being done in different areas that affect the cultures of these different areas. So, what can you do? First of all, we know that we need to implement government led or public private partnerships to build and provide affordable housing, as mentioned. Also, this could include creating specific funding program, tax incentives, and affordable housing units, allocating private or allocating public lands for such projects as well. The transportation aspect of it, we know that we need to expand public transportation, which include buses, trains, and also just the regular transportation that pedestrians would use, which would include for uh, crosswalks, cycling, etc. So when it comes to things of what you can do when it comes to safeguarding different cultures and being or having more of a green-wise lifestyle under sustainability, these are the next things that can be looked at is cultural preservation programs, which establish initiatives to document, preserve, and revitalize traditional cultures, languages, and customs, and organizing cultural festivals, events, and educational programs that foster understanding and appreciation of all these diverse cultures. Um, Also, when it comes to greenwise lifestyle, which is the sustainability aspect of it, policymakers can create and enforce regulations that promote sustainability, such as setting targets for renewable energy, adoptions when it comes to waste reduction and emissions reduction. They can also incentivize sustainable practices through tax breaks, subsidies, and grants. So these are all the different ways that we can pretty much help out and assist with things that can be done when it comes to touching on these four subjects. Your voice can hold the power. Engineers can only do so much, so it's up to you and the community to advocate for a change in this world. So, pretty much on the last page, you can see what our sources are where we got our information, and we'd also like to thank you for watching this presentation and hope that you take action and help engineers and people like us presenting and kind of talking about these kind of four different aspects of UN sustainable goals that will help out different communities with housing, with transportation, with the need of also of creating or saving their cultural integrity, and at the same time also thinking about how can we be green when it or think green when it comes to these type of projects. Thank you.